Hi, Connie Smith here with Homeschool High Five. Welcome to part 2 of Beware of Overscheduling. Now, in our last video, we talked about not being overwhelmed with trying to have a schedule down to the T and having everything laid out meticulously, but also having self-discipline so that you stay on track and accomplish your goals. Sometimes schedules define themselves, meaning if your child works outside of the home, they're older and have a part-time job, or maybe they have extracurricular activities, your schedule needs to coincide with those things. And so things will start to take shape based on what other things you have going on. Also, like I mentioned in the last video, my children go to classes where they have to be out the door by 8 or 8:30 on several days a week. Now, when they're at home the other days, we've set 8:30 as our start time. This is a good practice. It's given them a good routine and what they know what is expected of them. Yes, there's times when they've worked real hard or they're tired and they ask if they can sleep in the next day. They know they can do that as long as they get their work done. And sometimes we have stuff where we have to do other things in the afternoon. And I say, you have to get started at 7:30 or 8 today. And they know that. And sometimes they groan, but they get it done. But these are good disciplines for them, even as they continue to grow and get older and take more responsibility. Now, once they have, they get ready and do their schoolwork, their schedule is basically for them to figure out. They do really good about this, and I want to share some about this. Once their day starts, they have the freedom to use the time as they wish, with some oversight from mom. Now, we sit down at the beginning of the week, we go through all of their assignments, the things that they have to accomplish that week, if there's papers due or projects, or even if we have stuff going on, company coming in and we have to rearrange schedule, all of those things we discuss. Now we go through that, and then they take their work and go do it. Now, sometimes we have to go and shift things around. I meet with them the next day or later that afternoon, and I can see things are taking longer in one area than another. Sometimes we have to make adjustments, and that's something that we work on. We reevaluate the schedule as need be. Now, of course, there's several factors. They did not start out this way, basically having free reign over their schedule. And they know that if they start falling behind, I may have to give some more parameters. But for the most part, they handle it. Now, it wasn't always this way. As they've gotten older, year by year, they've been doled out more independence. And that's something you should be doing with your child. As they continue to grow, they should take more ownership of their assignments and work. Now, some children are just wired this way. My daughter has always been responsible and independent, even, first, second grade. Now, she's definitely more responsible and independent at almost 16 years old than she was at 6 years old, but she's just wired that way. Some kids aren't. Some need more hand-holding and guidance when it comes to that, but they should definitely be working towards being independent in their assignments. Now, my son, he's 3 years younger than her. He's matured along the way. He wasn't necessarily in first, second grade as independent as she was at that age. But as he got to fourth, fifth, sixth grade, I started to see him really come on about making sure his assignments are done and taking ownership in that. And that is great. And now in 8th grade, I'm so proud of him. And each year I tried to extend more and more independence to them, because I'm not always going to be there. You're not always going to be there with them. And you can't just handhold them, because they're going to go off and they need that independence. And this is a beautiful way to develop that in them. Now, if you have younger kids, you're probably wondering, what in the world are you talking about? You're probably leading their instruction for the most part, as you should. But as they get older, or maybe in certain things, they can take ownership over this assignment or this subject. Year by year, they should be growing more and more independent. Now, even I'm still working side by side with my children. We may be reviewing for a biology test, or checking their Latin exercises, or editing a paper. All of that we work side by side. But more and more, they should be growing independent, because like I said, you're not always going to be right by their side. And this is a great skill and tool to give your children. So whatever your plan looks like, remember, it's just that. It's your plan, and you're going to make it work, because I believe in you. High five. Until next time.